What up, people? This is your boy Bobby G, man. I'm in trouble again. I got the obsession going on this time for the Mirecourt guitar, man. Oh, I want a Mirecourt guitar. I don't have one. And the Mires were my people, man. In ancient Roman times, there were people in France that worshipped the god Mercury. They were called Mercury. They were called the Mire. There was Mirecourt. There was Mire. They were both in like northern France. One was, you know what I mean, the west. One was in the east. But the people in Mirecourt, they became great, you know what I mean? Great string instrument makers they were. Legendary people. And like I said, man, the Mires were my people. You know, my great-grandfather was a Mire. So, I need one of these guitars. Now, the Mirecourt guitar is symbolized by these romantic guitars with a little thin waist. I think it actually started in Italy, but it was really perfected in France by those luthiers there in Mirecourt. Really tiny, like Coke bottle waist, man. Real thin, like a peanut-shaped guitar, you know what I'm saying? And usually had peg head stocks. Let me show you some pictures here. This is my great-grandfather, Uncle Mire, the old country. He actually came by way of Austria. You know what I mean? The European people, man. And here it is. Here's an early Mirecourt guitar from 1840, roundabout. See that waist I'm talking about? See the early peg head? They had, like, you know, friction pegs on the headstock. See what I'm saying? It's got the mustache bridge. Now, by, you know, mid century, they pretty much had gotten rid of the peg head because they didn't tune well, and they pretty much, you know what I mean, got with the program. This one, what's this from? Let's see what year they say this one's from. 19th century. So, you know what I'm saying? This is really, ideally, the kind of guitar that I'd love to have. More of, you know, this looks like, you know what I mean, a fancy man's guitar. More of a common, you know what I mean, variety of that, man. But I'm broke, man. Guitars cost money. I was going through the junk mail today, though, man, say, where can I get money to get a guitar? I could probably get a beat-up old romantic guitar out of Europe. I've gotten so many guitars out of Europe. They're all over Europe. People don't know what they are. They don't care about them. You know what I mean? They just want the rock and roll. So these things are nothing to them. You can buy off eBay in Europe. Go to the German eBay site, man. eBay.de. You find all kinds of crazy acoustic guitars made in the 19th century going for nothing. So, problem's still money, man. I'm broke. Ain't money. So the junk mail came today, man. I've seen this ticket. I joined this bank, right? $300. $300 with your direct deposit. See that, man? $300 in the pocket. I'm going to go take this coupon down to my local bank. And with that in mind, I got to looking on that eBay, man. I got to looking there. And I got to buying from somebody in Belgium, of all places, man. See that? Belgium, 152 euros. Well within budget. Still got a couple extra dollars from my good friends at the bank. This is just what I want, man. A Mirecourt guitar, man. Oh my God, man. I'm so excited about it. Mirecourt. So let's check it out, man, because you never know. Something comes from overseas. Once I get it, it might be all broken, could be fucked up. You know what I mean? This guy could be a scam artist. You know what I mean? He could be sending me some kind of old Harmony 99. Let's take a look, man, and just pray, man. Mirecourt. All right, a couple weeks later, I got a knock at the door from Mr. Postman. Big package from Belgium Post. Wonder what it can be, man. See what it says on the custom form here. It says broken guitar for repair. All right. He breaks it down in English in a broken way, man. Let's see how broken we really are. Let's see if old Guitkit can get it back into working shape for the people of Mirecourt. The Mirecourt crew. My Mirecourt crew. It's like untaping, folks. I mean, I'm surprised it's made it. Smell it. I can smell an old guitar. I can smell an old guitar. Oh, my finger! No, I'm just kidding. definitely double up them inside, you know what I mean? It's not about the outside tape, it's about the inside tape. Oh, I'm already loving it. Smell that old guitar smell. Oh, it's driving me crazy. Oh, folks, gorgeousness. Oh my God. Look at that. You seeing what I'm seeing? You seeing what I'm seeing, folks? Look at this thing. Oh, it's got steel strings on it. This is the destruction of many romantic era guitars and previous. People put steel strings on it, man. Action's pretty good on this bad boy. Let's take a closer look here. Oh. Look at this guy. It's got some serious age to it. Oh yeah. Look at that. Steel strings, we got to get them off immediately. Look at those original tuners, man. It's got those big gears too on them. That's like you're talking an old style tuners. Pretty much brass too. Look at that. Ice cream cone heel. What's up, kid? That's an early school. It's definitely in a Mirecourt style, man. That is right on. All right, folks. So let's take a look at it without the camera running, and I'll give you an assessment of the damages. Very happy, my Mirecourt friends. Folks, now I've actually had some time to, get this guy examined, and it's just gorgeous. It's got a bone saddle here, ancient stuff, man. Bone saddle, and look at the detail on that rosette there. Look at the little tiny piece of wood, which alternate red, yellow, green, yellow, red, yellow, green, yellow, red, green. They go, see that? Look at that detail on that. And this is like a 10-level binding. And the top of the guitar is actually set into the side of the guitar. This isn't, you know what I mean? And this is real thick wood. It's not like just regular, this is a hefty guitar. You're not like a German guitar, which is kind of lightweight, you know what I mean? Spanish guitar. This is like definitely a different beast here. And I mean, it's not really too damaged. I mean, I think it's mostly damaged from the years of having steel strings. This thing, I'll give you some credit where credit is due. I mean, this thing was shipped over. This is like, we're talking like a 175-year-old guitar shipped over, you know what I mean, on a plane at pretty much E-tuning with steel strings. And it, you know what I mean? It survived the ordeal, the rigmarole. The tuners are in great shape. They are perfect shape. I mean, it's just damage along, you know what I mean, the center block where you've seen it's been worn and torn. This can be just clamped really with some nice Tide bond. You know what I mean? There's not really too much, you know what I mean, destruction of the actual, you know what I mean, guitar. Look at that. Look at that original strap button there, that wooden strap button in the, you know what I mean, the triangular thing. Now, another thing that sort of leads us into also what I was talking about with that earlier ancient guitar we did. Look at the back here. See that V joint? Now, I'm not saying that V joint isn't original to the guitar. What I'm saying is, I think a lot of these guitars, that when these tuners became commercially available, and like all the different, countries had different friction pegs and You know what I mean? And there was just a lot of, you know what I mean, like, you know what I mean, off-par tuners being used. I think a lot of people went out and had their headstocks changed out. Now, I'm not saying that that's the case here. I mean, I've seen a lot of romantic era French guitars with that little, you know, headstock joint there. I'm just saying that it was always sort of done along that joint, you know what I mean? I have a feeling that that headstock is original. I'm saying this guitar is 1845, 1850. You know what I mean? Just from this bone, you know what I mean? I'm saying this might be the oldest guitar I have in my collection, you know what I mean? And it's definitely, it's going to probably, I mean, the action seems great. So let's get it clamped up a little bit. Let's pump some glue into this guy and get it playable again. I mean, like I said, I mean, the nut is perfect. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that nut. The tuners are outstanding. It needs a good rollover done. I don't think the people in the 19th century really cared about cutting their hands up, or maybe it's just the fact that the wood has shrank a little bit and the frets have expanded. I don't know. You know what I mean? There's some science involved. I'm not a scientist. This little dark patch here, it was like organic, you know, oil manner that sort of like, you know, people picking on it, and it sort of oxidized the wood there. I think I'm just going to try to go over that lightly with just straight bleach, you know what I mean, and then wax it. I'm not going to, I don't have to paint this guitar at all, really, you know what I mean? So, like I said, let's start pumping some glue into it and just continue our preservation process on it. I think it's going to be a short one, folks, and I think we're definitely going to be very happy with the outcome. Mirecourt, 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 Mirecourt. So, the biggest two issues this guitar has are these two cracks on both sides. There's one here, and there's one here, and the worst one is this one right here. Now you see that this is a pretty old crack. You can see that, like, the scum on the wood, you know what I mean? There's almost like 160 years worth of scum. So this crack's been there. So we're going to try to just pump as much glue as we can in there, tight bond it, you know what I mean, get a little suction cup going, and do each end, you know, once at a time. But we're going to try to put these two guys down, you know what I mean, and then do the other side, and then we'll worry about the other cracks in the body. So let's do this, the worst one first. So basically, we just got, there's light on the subject here, some tight bond on there, and we're just going to take a little suction cup here and squish it in there. I wish I had the flash on here so I could show you a little bit better. Hang on. Just put this on here. And you just put a little bit of water on top of that tight bond. So the tight bond on the bottom, and then like a bead of water. You know what I mean? I'll just glide that guy up and down that crack. Glide him. Happy crack, happy crack. Right. Now we take a wet rag, and we're just going to wipe that down and clamp it with a little piece of wax paper. Wax paper is not what it used to be, folks. Remember when, like, we were younger? Wax paper, that's some serious wax on there, man. That's pretty chintzy for wax. So I'm going to clean this up a little bit, clamp it, and then I'll do the other side and come back when we're done. This big boy clamped. We're just let that one clamp by itself. This is a real complicated break. I got like a bunch of heavy, like, screws and stuff on top of it to keep it slightly down on one side, and I got it clamped. You know what I mean? And got the glue filled in. That's the worst one. So let's let that guy totally set, and then we'll do this one. You know what I mean? It runs up this side, and then we'll attack these guys up here. I hear all kinds of loose braces in there. Once we get this done, we'll just sort of, you know what I mean, go in there with a little brush and get some glue on them braces again. Get them all glued up. So let's do this guy, and I'll show you, you know what I mean, each one in succession. Peace. Alright, so we got this first crack down. This is the big one. And we put a little bit more glue in it just to nail in the coffin kind of thing. Putting this other crack down. These are the two nastiest ones, and then we'll work on those ones up here. But I mean, some luthiers, you know what I mean, after this is done, they could want to put, like, you know what I mean, a little bead, thin bead of crazy glue in there, and sprinkle some dust in there. you know what I mean, some sawdust or whatever, and to match up the color and put the varnish and lacquer and blah 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 blah. I'm not even gonna bother, folks. I just want this thing to be stable. You know what I mean? When I kick, whoever gets this guitar, they can sprinkle sawdust into all the little wounds. But what I mean, I promise you, until that point, it's gonna be a stable guitar. All right, folks. So I'll see. I'm not gonna show you, every single crack being. When I'm done with the back, I'll show you, and then we'll start working on the front. All right. Peace be with you. Those cracks up by the neck, they were like really complicated. They were going all which ways, jutting here and there, everywhere. But we finally got them down. There's nothing left standing proud on both ends. So I used every single medieval clamp I own to get this guy down. I got some serious medieval clamps on that guy. And the rest of them are holding this fucker on the table. You know what I mean? Everything heavy. So if this guitar survives the clamping process, it's going to be a nice piece. Peace, peace. Alright, people. So we can do the even rim Ray Charles test all the way around the whole guitar, and you can't feel any of those cuts, man. It's all level. However, this was a guitar that had been damaged for a long time, and pieces of wood wore away, and there are parts where, this initially these two sides were proud for around 100 years, right? And they sort of like bore into this, you know what I mean? And it's sort of like U-shaped, if you can see it, like slightly U-shaped, like this way. So there's a little tiny bit of rough patches along this edge, and up here it's a little bit more smooth, but again, you know what I mean, a lot of material is sort of worn away, and there are like sub cracks going in and out. Now, like I said before, I'm not looking to really seriously repair this, like a real luthier would, like, you know what I mean, treat these and put stuff in there, and you know what I mean, you wouldn't be able to see them at all. I just want it structurally good, and the only reason that I'm going to do anything more than this, since this looks good, is because this is a little uncomfortable and it's a little jagged, and I don't like jagged shit. So, got an old crayon, man. This happens to be a good old-fashioned Crayola crayon. And luckily, it's an easy color to find. It's brown. Every country in the world, you can find a brown Crayola crayon. And look at that, folks. That matches the tone of the back pretty much to a T. So I'm going to sharpen this to, like, a stabbing point. An old crayon sharpener. And I'm going to light a candle and just sort of, go up and down these cracks. You know what I mean? Just put the top of it in the candle. I'll show you what I mean. Let me come back when I get it all set up for you. Now we say a prayer for all the guitars out there that have been lost and forgotten about in the closet somewhere. So we got to sharpen to like a dangerous point, and we're just going to put it into the flame for just a quick second, you know what I mean, and just go up and down this thing, you know what I mean, until that's all filled in. Got a little half-ass rag here, there's hot boiled water, you know what I mean, just clean this off. This is just to get the, you know what I mean, since we're not refinishing this, you know what I mean, if you're actually going to refinish it, don't use wax, because wax usually does not jive with lacquer. It doesn't jive with much stuff, but we're just going to wax this guitar. So Crayola will jive, man. Wax will definitely wax me up. So I'm going to wax up my surfboard, man, and I'll see you on the flip, bruh. And there it be, folks. Look at that. A lot better, right? You can barely see it. I mean, this is with the bright flash. You know what I'm saying? When I get straight up on it, I mean, you can see, you know what I mean, the cracks still, but I mean, when you're like, chilling in subdued lighting, man. Hey, man, that's a nice romantic guitar. I'm a kind of romantical guy, man. So, like I said, man, we just took that little crayon, kept it sharp, dipped it in the candle, you know what I mean, boiling water at the end to clean it up. We had a little tiny razor blade that we taped off. You know, I always have one of these around so we could just sort of, you know, we scrape up the extra wax, make it a little easier for the people. And now it looks nice for the people. Look at that. So, our back is good, man. So let's flip this guy over and let's work on the front now, man. Now the front, I'm going to bleach this little area here. And also I'm going to do the round over on here. Before I attempt to mess with these cracks up and down here, this round over. Listen to this. You hear that? I mean, that hurts, man. It hurts my fingers just to do that, man. So I'm suffering for you, you know. So I'm going to tape, you know, a little bit here and just do the regular old round over, You know what I mean? Level the frets. These frets seem like they've been pretty. Take a look at it. Whoever has, this guitar has been like a used guitar. I mean, it had the strings on it. It was tuned E. So, I mean, it's pretty much been in commission for nearly 200 years. You know what I mean? And whoever used it, I mean, has kept these frets pretty level. So I'm just going to go over it perfunctory. You know what I mean? And get that, you know what I mean, shit tight. So here we go, man. Now let's start working on the front. Over completed, man. Oh, it feels great. Always protect your nut, especially on these older ones made out of, wood. And there's some cracks here, and I don't want, you know what I mean? So, nice couple layers of tape there. And we put some bleach on there very carefully. Coarse bristle brush, you know what I mean? By the spoonful. Stay in with it, you know what I mean? When you want to do something like that, you're staying on a guitar on bare wood. Make sure it's bare wood. You don't want to mess with any kind of finish. If he's gone down the bare wood, you go around it and you can get it, you know what I mean? But then you dab it as soon as you get to like a little bit darker than the tone you want. You dab it off real quick and then hit the hairdryer out. Bleach will keep, you know what I mean, bleaching it after it's dry even. So get all, you know what I mean, get all the remnants of the, moisture out of it. And I coated it with 3-4 layers of like butcher's wax, and also I put some Carnauba cleaner wax on there. You know what I mean? Like 3 or 4 coats, maybe 5 coats of wax total. Stop oxidizing the wood, and it, you know what I mean, came right up with the correct tone. You know what I mean? It didn't really, do much other than just, you know what I mean, sort of stop, you know what I mean, the attention from being drawn to that little spot. You know what I mean? It's still there. You know what I'm saying? It's just not as glaring. So, you know what I'm saying? But be real careful using bleach on 200-year-old wood. You know what I'm saying? Bleach and wood, generally not, you know what I mean? Leave that to the steady hand. But if you do it and do decide to do it, stay within very close. Use a apply with a paintbrush. Don't dab it on there. Pour it on there. Be real careful. Bleach can pretty much destroy these old finishes. So we're going to work on these. We'll work on these, man. This is the worst one because it's sunk down. So we're going to get like a clamp, you know what I mean, get in here and get it all clamped up. We're going to do each crack one at a time. We're going to probably put some little pieces of popsicle sticks behind these guys. And, you know what I mean, I'll come back at you once we're clamped up on this guy, because this is the big one. And then we'll do this one, these guys back here, etc., etc. Okay, see you in a little bit. Got it on the clamp table, man. Got some serious old school clamps as usual. You know what I mean? Keeping that guy in there. Got a piece of popsicle stick glued behind those 2 big cracks. You know what I mean? From the back. You know, with a little clamp on that. So we're just going to go this way. You know what I mean? Fixing it. We're going to do this one. Then fix this one since this is sort of related to that one. You know what I mean? While that pressure, this is the next one we'll do. Do this one, and then these ones. You know what I'm saying? Just pretty much reinforce them if we can. If not, you know what I mean? We'll just pump a bunch of glue in it. See when we're all glued up. I'll give you a quick little snippets of each one. Round robin, clamping as we go. Now when we're done with the previous crack, we always pump a little bit more glue into it. Take the suction cup and get it in there. And by the time we go all the way around, you know what I mean? The earlier cracks, the worst ones, where you start, are going to be the best reinforced. Got a little clamp on there. There was a crack going through that rosette. I wanted to take care of that. We got a little tiny piece of popsicle stick, behind there. Trying to hold it together. So we're just going to keep doing this. We're pretty much done the top. We only have a couple more cracks to fill in really here, but everything else is like level. Once they're level, you just fill it in. And then we just put some glue inside, and we're well on our way. So once we're done with all this gluing, we'll come back. So there it is, man. Top is all one piece, man. We've spent about 48 hours pumping glue into the top and clamping it, getting it level. Now it's totally level, and all the cracks came together, man. They all came. It's all one piece after all these millions of moons. So that's cool, man. Last night, after I pumped the final round of glue into the cracks, I sort of let it dry for a little while, and then I took like a little tiny bit of glue and a little bit of water and just sort of polished the top of the guitar till we had the original finish shining through, and all the glue got in all the little tiny little holes and things that we missed. So it's nice and taken care of. It's one piece. And this morning I woke up, let it set for a good 5-6 hours. I mixed up some acrylic paint, got a little needle brush, scrubbed that acrylic paint into those little the major cracks anyway, and wiped the acrylic paint off as good as I could. and you know what I mean, that'll sort of give the glue as it dries, you know, the final, you know what I mean, last couple hours, you know what I mean, it gives it a little bit of hue of the actual, you know, guitar. So there it is, man. I want people to notice me and not my bandage. So here we go. Let's let it set, and I'll be back with you, you know, tomorrow. We'll start cleaning up and polishing it. Peace. Okay, folks, real quick, while we're waiting, so, you know, totally, you know, make sure that glue is 1,000%. You know, it's about 170% dry now. We need 1,000%. I've took a look at this bridge, man, and you see how that 100 years of using steel strings really eating away at that, you know what I mean, that wood there. Now, originally I was thinking of sticking little popsicle sticks in there, you know, and we cutting them off and sanding them down. I was like, I'll do a good job, nice for the people or whatever. But then, you know, I thought about it. I was like, you know what, it's kind of under the string anyway. No one's going to see it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this old needlehead brush. I'm going to send you on your way, needlehead. I'm sorry, it doesn't really have too much needlehead left. Just take some super glue and just squeeze it out onto like a little dish. Just paint it in there, like right in here. You know what I'm saying? Just to reinforce it a little bit. I'll take a look at it, and if that doesn't, you know what I mean, float my boat, then I'll think about plugging it. Alright, so we did it. Now that brush is stiff as a willy. Got that. Look at that, man. Nice and hard, man. It's like a plastic shell. You know what I'm saying? It's the little things that count, man. You know what I mean? And plus the brush gets to leave this world with a nice hard on. Everybody's happy, man. Goodbye, brush. You served a long life. Peace be with you. We've pretty much gone up and down with the Dollar Tree knockoff pledge. Cleaned the hell out of the guitar, really. Scrubbed the fretboard up with the 000, quadruple zero, you know, with pledge. Get all that grime. This is probably the dirtiest fretboard I've ever seen, man. So this must be like a mechanic. You know what I mean? Use this guitar, come in and play it after work. You know what I mean? And never wash his hands. It was so disgustingly dirty. I've seen some dirty shit, but that was just like, woo! Got it all off though, man. Lots of scrubbing. And then we took some mineral oil. We did the same thing. We took quadruple zero steel wool and we just got it in there, you know what I mean? Treat that. We want to try to get that rosewood all nice and sopped up. So we're going to let this sit for a couple hours, you know what I mean? Just let that rosewood soak up that earl. Because it was a little discolored, you know, and you can see where all that grease deposits had been for centuries. So here we go, man. Once this is, you know, set this for an hour, wipe all the rest of that residue off, when we're going to hit it up with some butcher's wax and then some carnauba wax. And then, you know, we're just going to hope that when we put strings on it doesn't snap in half. Peace! Blaze and shine on there. Gorgeous. Just gorgeous, man. So we pretty much stuck with like butcher's wax on the front, conservative, you know what I mean? On the sides and back, we gave a 50-50 mix of butcher's wax and carnauba wax. Look at that. Brilliant. This looks brilliant. So the guitar came out, it's popping now, you know what I mean? Now it's like a museum showpiece as opposed to like an instrument that was, you know, barely surviving when we first opened that box. Look at that. You know what I'm saying, man? So now's the time to sort of get it together. Look at the, oh, the earl sank into that rosewood. Breathing new life into it. These are the little pins that came on the treble side. There was 3 of them. The other ones were missing. We also took the furniture marker that I showed you in the other episode. Just the furniture marker from the Dollar Tree to just blacken this up. You know what I mean? Looks great. So this is what, you know, what we got. These are very nicely done French pins. You know what I mean? They're very clean. The German ones are real clunky and they have bigger heads. You know what I mean? But the French ones are real clean from Victorian times, pre-Victorian times. I have a bunch of 19th century pins here. This one actually looks like it's a little bit bigger, but it looks pretty much just like that. You know what I mean? So we'll be able to get away with this guy. Then I found these 2, which are, I think, German. I think I got them off that German guitar with the flower rosette. I think I'm just gonna, because they pretty much, you know what I mean, like look about the same, you know what I mean, from the front. I'm just gonna clean them up a little bit, a little dirty, and just go over with that furniture marker, the black furniture marker. I mean, black. You know what I mean? Stick them right in the middle somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Get away with it. So that's what we're gonna do. String it up. I'm gonna string it up with the same one that I strung up the last one. I'm kind of digging these, man. These are, like I said before, the lightest tension ball end strings I found online. About $5. And I'm gonna use the old tried and true Victorian trick of wrapping the end of the string with some of this, you know what I mean, and feeding it through the guitar this way, you know what I mean, so it's nice and padded on this. And we, you know, might have to put a little bit of dental floss around these guys, keep them in there, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna look great. So let's put it together and give you some glam shots, shall we? Shan't we not? Peace. Cool. Mirecourt. There it is, people. Oh my God. And I want to say something to you. It's got a lot of glue in it, right? But other than 3 bridge pins, which have been replaced with other 19th century bridge pins, mid-19th century bridge pins, right? This thing's totally original. Everything's totally original. You know what I mean? Original from head to toe. The bridge, other than the strings, frets, the tuners, and look at the condition of those tuners, man. Look at that. You know what I mean? I'm trembling, man. It's just cold down here, sorry. Oh. And I mean, other than a little tiny bit of wax, I haven't really treated it with anything. It's the original finish. You know what I mean? You know, some places heavier than others, but it's all just wax. There's nothing other than wax on this guitar. I put a little tiny bit of, you know, household bleach to break up some organic buildup. I use some furniture polish on it to get some schmutz off of it. Other than that, man, you know what I mean? It's been restored in that, you know what I mean? It's been set. You know what I mean? It's been leveled a little bit. But it's been a daily driver. It's definitely been a daily driver. I want to show you the strings right quick. Hang on a second. It's like borderline neurotic. I say the strings. These are the strings I took off of it. You know what I mean? They look like modern Martin strings. You know what I mean? They don't look like they're very old. You know what I'm saying? Take a look at that. You know what I mean? Those strings, this has been a daily driver. I'm not saying for all 175 years, but it's definitely been played. And it's been cared for. The frets were leveled. You know what I'm saying? It's been cared for well. You know what I mean? The frets were in great condition. It's the original nut. You know what I mean? It's complete. A little bit of strap wear, you know, thread and strap through there. The other one we did recently had strap, like the bone tuner there. Look at that. Look at that. People, this is just a gorgeous guitar, man. You know what I mean? Just a little bit of wax, a little bit of glue, man. A little bit of TLC, man. And it plays, and the action. On these guitars, usually put them back together, and the action's way outside. You know what I mean? Like the quarter. You know what I mean? It's like, you know what I mean? This is a quieter guitar, very heavy wood, but the action is so nice. So nice. My people in Mirecourt, I salute you. I salute you. I salute the beautiful, you know what I mean, care that you know what I mean, and the elves did in the workshop on these guitars, man. Even this common man's model that survived. You know what I mean? What TLC was put into this by you guys. Thank you. I salute you. Thank you so much for building a guitar that I can pass on as a future heirloom. So God bless you. Take care, and peace be with you. Peace be with you. Look after yourself. Look after yourself. So there we go, man. There's my cousin Tom with the Mirecourt guitar. And there's a chair next to him, man. What other 19th century guitar have we worked on lately? Could it be Cousin Carl? Cousin Tommy's also a direct descendant of Cousin Carl. So we're going to have a little flashback to the 19th century, shall we? Play some great 19th century music for you all, because I know you're looking for that with these beautiful guitars. Ready, Maestro? 1, 2, 1. a psycho, a little bit psycho, and that she's screaming my mind. Oh, she's hot but a psycho, she's wrong but she's right though. Na 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 na. She'll rip your shirt, but she's your blessing. Oh, she's hot but a psycho, oh but good right though. Now she's screaming my mind. Oh, she's hot but a psycho, she's wrong but she's right though. I don't know any other word, da da da. Psycho, she's wrong but she's right though. And she's playing my mind. Mirecourt guitar, Cousin Tommy is here. Peace be with you. Love each other. Keep your family. Keep your love. Blah blah blah. All the rest of that stuff. Peace.